Volare, oh, cantare, oh.
Hello everyone, welcome to the vlog, and today's vlog is going to be my Venice 101 vlog. I'm going to tell you all about what I did in Venice, why I did it, some tips I have for traveling in Italy, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new to the vlog, welcome. My name is Veronica Burton. I'm a 25-year-old living in the Atlanta area, and my husband and I took a very delayed honeymoon to Italy. Many people are going to Italy right now. I feel like every time that I look on my Instagram feed or something, I see people just in Italy doing their thing, and it was amazing. But there are definitely things that I didn't know that I wish I knew, and aspects that I was told before I went that I definitely want others to know before they go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. The way I'm going to format this is I have 3 videos going up. I have one about Venice, which you're watching now, Florence, and Amalfi, and it's going to go over things my husband and I did, where we stayed, where we ate, places I shopped, so on and so forth. And I'm also going to talk about, in the beginning of each video, a little Italy 101, what I learned when I was over there that I wish people had told me, or what I was told before I left that I almost wasn't told because it was the week of, and it would have been rough to find out when I had got into Italy, a little bit of a surprise. So if you are watching every single video in this series, I'm also going to have chapters of different sections that you can bop to in the video that make it really easy for you to navigate and find exactly what you want to learn about. But if you want to watch the whole entire video, go for it. But anyway, if you want to go around and bop through chapters, you can, I think it might show up in the bar if you just kind of hover on it, or it's going to be in the description. It's going to be time-stamped. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you're new to the channel, I make a lot of lifestyle content, a lot of get ready with me, 6 a.m. routines, work week with me, because I am also somebody that works 9 to 5 in a traditional office job right now, and that is the kind of content that I like to post. So you can subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you stick around. I also post a lot on Instagram, so I'm very active on there, a lot of just day-to-day life, and I'm very honest with what I post on there. I like when people are real, so I try to emulate that myself. A little bit of Italy, what to know. If you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at my list. I tried to prep for y'all and get all the things that I needed to know ready to chat about. So first of all, pack light. I know everyone says that. I packed a check bag and a carry-on, and it was the perfect size. Luke, my husband, also packed a checked luggage. He didn't have a carry-on, just his backpack. So I packed both of those bags because I had space to bring things home. So we got a lot of gifts for people in our family and friends, and I also wanted to get some things there that were for the house, so I got some really cool items that I'll show you later. Definitely pack light with room to bring things home. And also, when you pack, make sure that your luggage is easy to move around, to bring from place to place, because if you are going to be taking the train or even the planes and whatever you're gonna do, you want luggage that is easy to walk up the street with. You want luggage that is easy to move around. So I packed I use the Away suitcases, but you can really use any suitcases. I love the suitcases that have like the 4 wheels on the bottom, and also my backpack was very comfortable and easy to walk around in. So be sure you're packing things that you know you're going to move around. Mosquitoes is something else that people don't talk about, but I learned when I was over there, and my boss at work actually told me about this, and I packed bug spray. But mosquitoes in Venice are huge. Sometimes your hotel will give you bug spray, or sometimes if you're staying at Airbnb, you might get bug spray in there. You can definitely buy it when you're there. I know there's pharmacies all over, but I packed the bug spray that I wanted to wear that was not that really bug spray smell, but I just got like the off family care non-scented. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of a scent that lingers, but it really helped Luke and I not get eaten alive. And there was one day that I forgot to spray it on before we went to breakfast, and I did get bit a lot. So pack the bug spray, it's definitely a thing. Power outlets and power supply. They do things different in Europe, especially Italy and especially Venice, because that thing was built on a marsh. So it's definitely a different kind of power supply when you're over in Europe, and you just have to be aware of that. I definitely recommend bringing at least 2 power adapters so you can use like your plugins that you use to charge your phone and also some of your hair tools. I will caveat and say you should probably not bring your Dyson. I didn't bring my Dyson. Some people love their Dyson, or some hot tool that is very much a power sucker. Be careful with those, because I actually had a friend who blew up her Dyson, or just like short circuited, and it ruined it. So definitely be careful with the kind of things that you're bringing and you're hoping to use their power outlets for. And then pickpocketers. Pickpocketers are a huge thing. If you carry a purse, if you have things in your pocket, just be very aware of it. I actually recommend to just not even have things in your pocket. I just had my husband Luke give me his phone and his wallet, and I kept it in my purse. And I had a purse that had a clasp in the front, and I would hold it kind of crossbody as I walked. And if you have things in your back pocket, you might as well say sayonara, because they're probably going to get taken. And it is a very prominent thing. And also be very cautious. Ooh, I'm a little hungry. Be very cautious and aware of your passport, because passports are a hot commodity, and especially United States passports. Reservations. Make reservations at restaurants that you research. Ask if you're staying at a hotel, ask the concierge for their recommendations, and they can even help you make reservations sometimes. And if you're staying at an Airbnb, you can ask the Airbnb host about local restaurants that they recommend that you go to, and make those reservations ahead of time, definitely. And people eat late there. Us in America, a 6:30 to 7 p.m. reservation is not foreign to us. Over there, places open at like 7:30. So definitely be aware that people usually eat later, and that's normal. And I actually really enjoyed eating later, so it was nice. Also, I couldn't really find the status quo or the norm for tipping. So Luke and I just brought a bunch of small bills, and this is gonna fall into my next point. We requested euros from our bank because they got us, it's easier to just go pick up the euros in a good exchange rate, and it made our lives really easy to just already have the cash when we were traveling. But I will say we did not request for small bills. So if you are going to go that route, definitely bring fives and tens in euros for however amount you want, and it just really helps to just have that cash handy in case you need to tip or pay for something quickly. It allows you to have that flexibility. We went the route for tour guides, so usually on many of our days we had a half day with the tour guide and a half day to ourselves. We did have a couple days sprinkled in just to us, but so far when we did the tour guides, it was just us and the tour guide, and it was absolutely exquisite. It was amazing to just have somebody that is in the culture, that lives the culture, that really understands everything. And the tour guides that we went with were very reputable, and they actually one of them got their master's in the history of Italy, and they were very engulfed with all the history, and they just knew every single name, every single time period, every single year that things happened. And it was really awesome to be with somebody that knowledgeable. And then the first night that I'm about to talk to you guys about, we had a sommelier. That was our tour guide, because it was an aperitif experience. So tour guides over there know what they're doing typically. So research the tour guides that you are going to go with. If you do opt to go that route, I definitely recommend. It allowed us to have a little bit more of a enriched experience, and we learned way more and saw way more than if we didn't have a tour guide with us. All right, and then traveling. So the train systems are awesome in Italy. Our experience was we rolled up to the train station about 30 minutes before the train was there. We had everything situated. In about 15 minutes, you can start checking, I think like 20 minutes out, but around 15 minutes out, we would look on the board of departures. There's arrivals and departures, so look for departures, because I was looking at the arrivals for a while and confusing myself. But in the departures area, it says your destination, the time of departure, and then it assigns you a gate. So be very aware of what train you're getting on, because they check your ticket after you get on the train and you're moving. So you better be on the right train. I did read somewhere that you have to validate your tickets. I don't know about that. Check on that, because I definitely did not do that and we were fine. We had a mobile ticket and we were okay. Definitely buy all your transfer tickets in advance. That's how people commonly refer to it, is the transfer. So transfer in the train, transfer in the plane, transfer in a car. Try to arrange all of that ahead of time. It makes your life a lot easier when you're traveling in a foreign country and you can just know that somebody is picking you up, know where to go and exactly what to do, and all you have to do is figure out how to get on the train. You don't have to figure out how to find a ticket, how to buy the ticket, make sure it's the right ticket, blah blah blah. Definitely do that ahead of time. All right, so that was my little tips and tricks for Italy. There is so much that one can say and try to help you all prepare, but ultimately I am not the #1 source of truth. I've only been to Italy once and I had a great experience, and those are the things that I took away the most. Anywho, let's go on to Venice exclusive experiences. So this is what we did in Venice when we were there. We were there for 2 nights. All right, my camera just went, so continuing on. Let's go over our itinerary, shall we? So we got there on June 17th. We flew out midday around like 3:30 on June 16th from the Atlanta airport. And when we got to Venice, we basically had every travel arrangement pre-configured. So we got a water taxi to our hotel and we stayed at the most lovely hotel I have ever seen, been in, experienced, heard of. It was just like literally exquisite. It's called Aman Venice, and if you want to, you can definitely book a reservation to eat there, to go to the bar there. It is amazing. It is a palazzo, it's a palace, and basically the count and countess that own it, they still live there. Their family has had it for probably centuries, honestly. You can read about it online, but they still live on the 5th floor and they rent it out to the Aman Hotel beneath them, and it was amazing. They have an amazing courtyard that is just like exquisite. You can eat there, and they also have a rooftop, so the rooftop was a really great experience and we really enjoyed it. And in Venice, I think this is a unique to Venice thing, they have a aperitif called Select, and it's kind of like a baby in my, some people are gonna be like, no, it's not that, but for me it was the in-between of Aperol and Campari, and I just found it delicious. So I loved those spritz when we were there. I got a glass of wine when we got in, and I got an espresso and some snacks, and Luke got a beer, and we just chilled in the courtyard for a little bit and just kicked off the whole entire experience. And then we got to our room and we laid down. Luke took a little bit of a nap. I just took a shower, got clean, because I just feel grimy after the airport. I don't know about you guys, but I was just like not feeling it. And then after my shower and I got ready, I felt like a new woman. So after that, we went to a 5 p.m. Venetian Apertivo experience. I'm gonna put her information below, but our tour guide, her name was Cecilia, and Cecilia was a sommelier, and she's a level 3. She's so smart. She is very in the know of the history of Venice. She is a local. She has been living there. I think her family has been, I'm probably butchering it, but either her family or her husband's family has been in the Venice area for centuries. So she's very ingrained in the culture and in the know, and she took us on an aperitivo experience. What does that mean? It basically just means some drinks and some light snacks, and it was amazing. So the places we've been to, you can go visit, you can make your own arrangements, you can call. I think you might be able to drop into some of them. I know with the Osteria you definitely can drop in, but basically at 5 p.m. we went to the Podaco dei Tedeschi, and it is a large shopping department store, and it used to be used as a place to entertain the German guests that came to trade, because Venice has always been a city for trading. It's always been a city for commerce, for the trading of goods, and that is where they housed the German visitors when they first came. It's not used it's not used for that anymore, but it is a beautiful structure. And in the middle of there is a bar restaurant kind of ordeal called Amo and AMO. And you can go there and they have an amazing Bellini. Truly exquisite. It is made from really fresh peach puree, and you know a good Bellini by the color of it. A darker color Bellini, at least in Venice, is typically a signal if it's a really good Bellini, because they make it from fresh peach puree and it's not just peach juice. So the puree gives it that little bit extra flavor, that texture that makes it a really good Bellini. And they also use really good Prosecco. So definitely go there if you want a Bellini, and it's right by the Rialto Bridge, so it's very close, very walkable for a lot of people that are staying in Venice. And then we went to a more casual place. So this place you can pop by with some girlfriends, with some guy friends, whoever you are watching this, with some friends or just yourself. It's very chill and casual. And it is also by the Rialto Bridge, and it is called Osteria Banco Giro Venezia. So this is more of a, you pop in, you order at the counter, and you can get, there's like a slew of options of like little crackers with snacks on it, and then you can get a drink and then chill at the little stand-up bar. Or I know there's a sit-down experience looking at the water, and you can definitely go and eat dinner there if you would like. I don't know if you need a reservation, definitely check online, but it was so good. And they have a Prosecco there that is the best Prosecco I've ever tried. And I'm not a Prosecco girl, but Venice is, I think, in the region of Prosecco, like good Prosecco. That's like where they make a lot of it, and it was so good. I honestly might look into ordering some of it, but it's called Bosco de Gica Brut. I'm gonna pop a picture of it here. It is exquisite. We got a couple glasses of that, and it was just so good. And it is along the main waterway, so it's really pretty as well. And you can just go for a quick snack before dinner. It was so nice. And then along the main waterway, when I looked online, it said this place was closed. However, when I did my little detective searching and I looked at the place's pictures, of the courtyard's pictures, and I compared it to mine, and I did some Google Maps, it is definitely the place. So I don't know why it's saying online that it's temporarily or permanently closed, but I was definitely eating there. It was weird. Anyway, we went to Venaria Ristorante. I don't know if it's called something different. I don't remember the name, but it was so good. We had a spritz fight and some charcuterie, and it was so good. And that's where we ended. And we asked our guide, we're like, where should we go to eat dinner? Because we don't have a reservation, and we can always go back to the hotel and eat, but we just wanted to see if there was a recommendation. And she recommended that we go to Ristorante Casa Capellari, which is an amazing restaurant. It is so good. It's run by a husband and wife. The husband like mans the tables and helps with like the front of house things, and the wife is the chef. So good. The food was delicious. I definitely recommend going. We walked, and it's near one of the back alleyways. It's not one of those places that's flashy in like right next to the Rialto, and it's not that. It is definitely more of a local place, and it is so good. I definitely recommend. You do need a reservation, so make sure that you make a reservation before you go, and it was definitely worth it. It was so good, and we really enjoyed it, and the service was great. I will say the service in Italy is just different than American service. So they're there to just serve your food, get your order, and give you what you need, and then be on their way. Usually we have experienced when we were there, they're not there to like chit chat and like make it this huge experience, but they definitely want you to enjoy your time there. But it's just different. It's just different. It's not bad. It's different. So the next day we went on a 3 islands tour. We only made it to 2 islands because I think our guide was a little tired. He was great, but it was so funny because when he walked up to us, he was like, "Hi, my name is," I'm not gonna say his name because this is maybe embarrassing for him, but it's a common name. He's like, "My name's Alvisa, blah, 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 and I have a conjuntivo." And I was like, "Whoa, like, what is this guy talking about?" And then Luke, when we were walking to the boat, he's like, he has conjunctivitis, which is pink eye. He basically was telling us that he has double pink eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so contagious. But he had his little eye drops, and he wasn't contagious anymore apparently, but I definitely did not shake his hand. So that day we went to a couple islands tour. So there's Venice Central, and then there's a few islands around Venice that are noted for their own things. So the first place we went was Murano. Definitely visit these islands and set up your water transfers before you get there. You could also do it ad hoc or at your own will if you wanted to, but my experience is set it up before so you don't have to worry about it later. So Murano is famous for the glass blowing technique and glass. So there are glass masters that work on this island, and basically it takes 10 to 15 years to become a glass master. You have to be an apprentice for that long, and I think it's very hard work, and it is a true craft, and it's one that, I don't know, people say that it's a dying art, but I hope that it's not. But basically, the place we visited, we had a tour, and we had somebody that is from that place walk us through and show us the area. And there was a beautiful gallery after that we could walk through and just see what actually happened and what they created. So the place we went to is called Massimiliano Sciarron Art Team. I'm gonna pop their, everything's gonna be linked below, but basically we had somebody walk us through and just kind of tell us about the history and talk to us about what they do, the techniques, blah blah blah, and it was so fun. We did get a picture and some glasses from there. That was like our splurge of the trip, our piece that we were bringing home, and it's gonna get shipped to us. But it's so cool. It was really fun experience. And then we didn't spend a lot of time on the island past that. We didn't really walk around. We instead got back on the boat and went to Burano. Burano is a small island next to Murano, I think, and it's all like a 15-minute boat ride from each other, and it's known for its really colorful houses. And my favorite part of the island is that as you walk the back streets, people keep their doors open, like literally their front doors, and sometimes they have a drape and sometimes they don't, and you can literally look into their house. I'm not trying to snoop, I didn't stop and stare, but it was I love just seeing people's lives, and it was awesome to just kind of pop by and see people making lunch or watching TV. It was so cool. So sorry, that was Luke sneezing. The Burano Island is known for the lace makers, so they specialize in creating these lace intricate pieces, and it's anything from clothing to house decor to, I don't know, anything you can think of that could be lace, they make it. And we went to this one place called Emilia Burano, and I walk in and I'm pretty sure I met Emilia. It was awesome. And we had this store attendant like kind of walk us around and show us these really awesome places, really awesome pieces. It was 3 stories, and I just got a pajama. I just got like a nightgown that I wear a lot, and it was really comfortable. It's from like cotton and it has lace embroidery on it, and it was so pretty. But it was really cool to kind of see, because not only is it a store, like a storefront, but they have all of the family's history and all of like these historical lace pieces all over, and it was really cool to see. But from there we headed back to the main island of Venice, and we had lunch at Locanda La Corte, which is a hotel. They also have a lunch area in the main little courtyard. It's so good. I definitely recommend getting lunch there. I got the seafood pasta. Y'all, I'm editing this and I just realized I didn't say my favorite part of Venice, which was we went on this gondola tour, just literally 45 minutes around, and we opted to get the singer and guitarist duo. It made the tour. If you do a gondola tour, if you can spend the extra, get the music, because it truly felt so magical. So I'm gonna pop some clips and you can actually hear him singing. It was so fun.
Passarse con tutte ste gondole, non ser l'ideale, non ser natural. Volavo felice fino in alto del sole, ancora più su, mentre il mondo pian piano svaniva lontano laggiù. E una musica dolce suonava soltanto per me. Volare, volare, a che mare, oh, no cantare, volare.
then that evening we had dinner at the hotel, so at Aman Venice. You can definitely make reservations there. And then we just spent some time at the bar there, which was so beautiful, and just like enjoyed our evening. And then we just went home, and we did go out that night, actually. We went out that night. Do I regret going out? No. Was I hungover? Yes. It was painful. Like, just know, people say you don't get hungover from Italian wine. You don't get, it's not the same as drinking a lot of wine here, but just know you're not completely in the clear. I'm just gonna tell you that, okay? And we had to wake up and pack the next day and get on a train, and it was not the most pleasant experience, but nevertheless, it was fun. And that's where I'm gonna end this vlog, because that was our end of our Venice experience. It was wonderful, exquisite. Venice is actually probably, out of all of them, my favorite part, because it was my first introduction to Italy. It was my first time in Italy, my first introduction, my first experience with the Italian people and culture and history, and it holds a special place in my heart. However, the other places that we went hold different places in my heart, and I love them for independent reasons of why I love Venice. We also just stopped and got gelato a lot over our 2 days in Venice, and just walked around and sat by the main river canal and just hung out, and we had some time just to chill, and we really enjoyed that. So definitely build in time to not have a plan. Build in time to just relax and walk around and enjoy the space, and just take in the uniqueness that is Italy, because if you plan everything to a T, you won't be able to stop and enjoy the life that is so different from our life here in the United States. So I definitely recommend. That was my experience in Venice. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that you found it helpful, that you found it useful to you. I am so happy you're here again, and if you are new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. I love posting lifestyle videos. I will also be creating my summer wardrobe outfit, and then my Florence, and then my Amalfi vlogs. So those are going to be coming in the coming weeks. And then also, I have a Shop My if you are ever interested in quickly seeing just links to things that I often wear or use. And it also has my Amazon storefront on there that I use to also pack. So I have like my packing cubes and my travel essentials on there if you want to shop around as you get ready for your trip. And I also recommend following me on Instagram, because I have a lot of my Venice stuff on there, and I also just do a lot of life updates there, and you can always DM me if you have any questions. So I usually respond pretty often. I think I've responded to nearly everybody that's ever messaged me. A few go under the radar just because it goes to request, and then I don't always see those, but respond to my story or something if you want to chat. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Welcome to the vlog if you are new, and I hope that you have the best trip if you're going to Venice, but I'll see you soon. Bye, friends.